is August 29th, 2013, the anniversary of Katrina hitting New Orleans. I'm Chuck Robison, and this is Notes from the Master's Class. If you're anything like I am, you go through these periods when you have to relearn and relearn and relearn an old and should be fundamental lesson. But these lessons come back to us again and again because sooner or later we really do learn how to deal with them. But it's always difficult, it's always different, and it's always powerful. So I've gone through a situation in the past 6 weeks or so where I've had to completely surrender what I thought was a done deal and was going to go my way. And it didn't. And it hurt to realize that. But as I've gone through this process this time, and by the way, a friend of mine says, wisdom is learning you don't have to make the same mistake the third time. As I've gone through it this time, I've realized that surrender is a good concept. You let go, and as they say, you let God. But you're really not surrendering because in the long run, you don't have control, and I mean this, over anything. Somehow or another, we think we have control, we'd like to have control, we manipulate as if we have control, but the truth is, consciousness itself is working out its own plan with and through us. And the quicker and the more completely we accept that, which is another word in this case for surrender, the quicker we do that, the faster it becomes apparent that what consciousness is trying to work out through us is far beyond our greatest imagination. That's what I'm finding out this time as I relearn this lesson. I was faced with a situation where I had to let go. There was no other opportunity, there was no other option. Let go, and that was it. And part of letting go is saying, okay, I surrender, I give up, it ain't going to go my way. And that's the truth. But what happens when you do that letting go and that surrender is you accept and acknowledge the fact that you're not in control from that point forward. But the reality is you weren't in control before that point. And frequently, very frequently, the problems that we encounter where we do have to surrender, give up, or let go are problems of our own making. And if we would do this business of accepting and letting go and surrendering all the time, the problems that we encounter, at least that's what I think my lesson is, the problems would be less difficult, and less traumatic. What happens to me is something I learned a long time ago. I wanted to leave New York, and I worked for 20 years to leave New York, but I wanted to leave New York and I wanted to move out west, and I picked Taos, New Mexico as my place where I wanted to be. And I wanted a specific job there. I wanted to be the minister at the Presbyterian Church in Taos. And for 20 years, I did everything I possibly could to get that job. And the man who was there was a retired Army chaplain, and every year he would announce that he was going to leave and retire, and every year shortly after that he'd say, no, I don't think I'm going to retire. And so after about 20 years of working for this and trying to make it happen, I went to a person who helped me with making visions, and I said, what do I do here? I know exactly what I want, I know where I want it, and it's not happening. And she said, well, keep the vision exactly the way you've stated it up to this point. Keep it in writing, but at the end of the piece of paper where your vision is written, add this one particular sentence, and that sentence is, this or something better. And I did that. I went home and I put down this or something better at the bottom of my vision statement. And within a matter of days, an opportunity opened up that I never expected, would never have guessed could happen, and the next thing I know, I was in Telluride, Colorado. I'd moved up to 10,000 feet, I'd moved out west, and my life was radically changed and became much different in almost what appears, looking back now, like a twinkling of an eye. when I just said this or something better. I surrender. Whatever you bring me, I'm assuming it's going to be better and I'll accept it. Now, the lesson here is just this. We are all part of consciousness. The theologians, the classic theologians, would never equate consciousness with God, but I do. I think that God is everything, in everything, is everything, and consciousness is the glue, the material, the stuff that we make life out of. I'm consciousness, you're consciousness, the bees are consciousness, the plants are, it's all the same thing. The mountains are consciousness. And God is in the middle of all of that. And there is a plan. I know some of you might think, oh no, there's not a plan. Yes, there is. This is not a random choice, and it was Einstein that said God does not play dice with the universe. So there is a plan. We may not know what it is or where it's going, but it's going someplace. And as soon as we get out of the way, and as soon as we accept what it is that consciousness is putting before us, the safer we become, the stronger we become, the more involved we become, and the less fearful we become. And it's kind of that simple. It's not really that simple, but it's easy to say it's simple. The fact of the matter is, the battle goes on right here in our hearts. I want my way, I want my stuff, I want me, mine. And the universe says, well, that's terrific, thank you for letting us know, but as soon as you figure this out and get out of the way, you'll see what's about to happen, and it'll be better than you ever dreamed. So I want to share that with you, and as a footnote to that, I want to show you this. This is our book, The Quantum Conspiracy. Now, we wrote this book in 2000, and we finished it in 2008, and it was published in 2009, and we knew at the time that it was not going to be well understood or appreciated for a while. Now, all of a sudden, really a surprise, the stuff that we have written about in this book, the events, the people, the concepts, the ideas, the prophecies, are all revealing themselves to have been true. So this book, The Quantum Conspiracy, which Karen and I wrote together, can be found on Amazon in a Kindle or an email edition, and also in a hardcover. It's not a hardcover. It's a paperbound back book, and it was published by O Books in London. I think you might enjoy this book. It's not expensive anymore, and it's a possibility for you to look around and say, wow, what is going on? Because folks, any way you shake it, there is so much going on that this is magic time. So this is Chuck. I want to thank you for being with us today, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.